Hi, my name is Dr. Drew Moffitt. I am an infertility doctor. I've been doing this for about 30 years. Started long ago and wanted to be an OBGYN and then decided that I wanted to go into infertility, partly because my wife and I had infertility back then and we're kind of trying to figure that out, so I figured I'd figure it out by becoming a specialist in that area. So IVF stands for in vitro fertilization, and there's lots of different applications for that. It started as a way to get around people who had very bad fallopian tubes or blocked fallopian tubes, but since then it's used for many, many applications, whether it be a sperm problem or problems with ovulation or genetic problems that need to be overcome. So there's a lot of applications for in vitro fertilization now. I think I'm definitely pro-life in that that's what I do. I make babies and my job is to create families. I've been doing this a long time, so I haven't really kept notches on my belt on how many babies we've had, but we have hundreds of babies born every year and been doing this for a very long time. I guess the main thing I would say is a lot of people, rightly so, are worried about doing something like in vitro fertilization, and what that results in is they delay doing anything. And the biggest and most difficult thing I do each day is dealing with people who have delayed too long and now they have problems with running out of eggs. So it would be much better to at least find out if you have a running out of egg problem so that you aren't in a situation where you don't have options, because once you run out of eggs or are low on eggs, there's not many things we can do to help you. So a step-by-step process of what you do is, first thing, you'd have a meeting with me. We would basically go over your situation, find out what your history is, what the problem is, and then get an understanding of what your goals are. I mean, our job is to give you accurate information so that you can make decisions that are right for you. If the decision is made to do in vitro fertilization, what we do is we take over your cycle by putting you briefly on a birth control pill, and then we get you scheduled to start on a specific time. Most treatments involve taking injections to stimulate multiple eggs to grow. Our goal is to basically not just get you that first baby, but to bank embryos for the future, so that if the first one doesn't work, you have other embryos frozen that you can simply thaw out and transfer. Or if you want to have more children, we have multiple embryos for you. And so our goal is to create a family by getting as many embryos banked for you as possible. So you end up taking injections for about 2 weeks. You have monitoring about 4 to 6 visits during that 2 weeks, doing ultrasounds and blood works to see how many eggs are growing and what the hormones are. And then when it's time to take the eggs out, we do an egg retrieval in our office. You're asleep under anesthesia. It takes about 30 minutes, then you recover for 30 minutes. Then we fertilize the eggs that day. The next day, we see how many have fertilized, and those that have fertilized go in the incubator for about 5 to 7 days and are frozen when they reach the blastocyst stage. And then we let you recover, and we start getting you ready for a transfer. A transfer is very simple. We just take a little tube, load the embryo in it, slide it through the cervix, and deposit that into the uterus. So there are a lot of little details, but overall it's a relatively simple and very safe procedure.
So what led me to Dr. Moffitt? So I was married to somebody for 5 years that couldn't have kids. And so I originally went there for that, to get him help. And then long story short, we didn't end up together, and I had already invested a lot of money into it. So I had decided to go ahead and just freeze my eggs, and so I don't actually have fertility issues. I felt like the very worst part was just having to go on the pill for a whole month, because I just don't do well with that. And then of course the vaginal ultrasounds I thought were horrible. As far as the surgery goes, I didn't think the surgery was too bad. They kept saying surgery, and I was like, I didn't really think I even really considered that to be like a surgery. But so yeah, you definitely feel the surgery the next few days. I asked, like, after surgery, how bad does it hurt? She's like, oh, just like equal to having a baby. So it is, it's a lot of shots, a lot of money, a lot of blood work and a lot of vaginal ultrasounds.
This way. All right. And we're going to come all the way around. Sorry. And
For your bladder again?
oh. What are you doing?
And I just highly recommend him for anybody that's a couple that's having fertility issues. That can seem like the end of the world. I've been there. And even if you're like me and you don't have fertility issues and you just want to freeze your eggs, just to have anything you want to do like that, you go see Dr. Moffitt. He is located in Phoenix, Arizona. But I definitely think it's something you can do by yourself as well, as long as you're raising your baby to believe in Jesus Christ. I think it's fine. So yeah, if you just want to secure having babies until you're like fine, Mr. Right, I think Dr. Moffitt is amazing because I'm pro-life and he's creating life and helping people that can't have kids have kids. Like, he makes dreams come true for a lot of people. So if you want to follow me, I mean, I have a few things on my schedule that I want to do before I'm pregnant, but I do fully intend on having an IVF baby through Dr. Moffitt. If you want to
Say
can you say
Scotty's on video.
losing it. Crimson. Say shh.
He looks crazy. You're focused on it.